Around elementary school, I was sexually abused by a boy, and I didn't find it wrong. I found it as being accepted, so I didn't say nothing about it. Sexual abuse. Have you been sexually abused? What does it do to you when you get sexually abused? Are you not telling anybody either? Because when you get sexually abused, like myself, I know it can build a lot of shame, fear, and guilt. And when you have these three things controlling your life, you're gonna keep it a secret. You're gonna feel like it's your fault. And I wanna kind of break down how I overcame it, what you're probably feeling, to normalize, let you know that you're not alone. So when I was around elementary school, I was sexually abused by a boy. And I didn't find it wrong. I found it as being accepted. So I didn't say nothing about it. But when that happened, that changed the way I thought. It changed the way that I saw what love was, what intimacy was. And this led me down a path of always trying to keep it a secret, because I was afraid if my parents found out or people found out, what would they think of me? And as I got older, I got molested. And I got molested, and it happened several times. And this happened when I was a teenager. So this right here twisted my mind. It twisted everything that I thought about life, about people, about God, about just love. I mean, everything that you could think about, it just twisted it all really bad. And I kept that a secret for over 10 years, that time when that one happened, because again, fear, shame, guilt. And the part that really screwed me up, you see, I was on drugs when it happened. The person was 40 years older than me, 50 years older than me. I was a kid. It's illegal. It's not supposed to happen that way. But I felt like it was my fault. And that's why I didn't say nothing. Why didn't I say nothing? Because I enjoyed it. Yeah, I enjoyed it, so I felt dirty. I felt disgusted. But what you got to realize is this: when the body is going through any type of arousal, whether it's wrong or right, arousal may arise because that's how the body physically reacts, but it doesn't mean it's right. And that's what I had to learn, to be able to let that go, to be able to forgive myself, and to be able to actually find myself in healthy relationships. So here are the things that can happen, that you can experience from it. One, you're gonna question your sexuality. So for me, it happened by a male, right? And I have nothing against gay people at all. I don't. When it happened to me, anytime I got into a relationship with females, if it didn't work out, I feel like it's because of what happened to me, and I gotta figure it out now. And that messed with my mind. Two, because I enjoyed it, I thought that there's something wrong with me. And I would have thoughts about, the trauma happening in the shower while I'm driving, on dates, when I had some quiet time before bed, in the morning, and it really just messed me up. So I would do research, and it's like, if it happened to you, there's a statistic that you'll do it to somebody else. And it was scary. And I was like, oh, is this gonna happen to me? So that haunted me. Another thing that happens too is your sex life, it can get in the way. I know there's times I'll be with my partner and stuff, and I start thinking about the trauma pops up in my head, and I'm like, man, I can't even be present during this intimacy because this trauma pops up. And that happened a lot of times in my life. And another thing that can pop up from the trauma too is you may feel this fear around kids, around kids, because if you're a kid and it happened to you, you know what happens to kids. So now in your mind, people think you're gonna do that, and there's this weird thing, that's weird energy going on. Or another one too that you can go through is anyone that looks like you're an abuser, you might feel this fear of authority, this fear of power, this fear of how that person looks, and it's really gonna jack you up in the head. I know it did for me. So those are some things that, can happen. And hey, it happened to me. Remember, it happened to me. So if you're going through it, speak up about it in a safe place. There's support groups. You can get coaches, therapies, psychologists. Find someone who's been through what you've been through that's actually doing good in their life, so you can open up to them. Because there's gonna be people in life that can give you good advice because they read about it. There's gonna be people who gave you great advice who've been through it. And that's what you want to find, people who experienced it emotionally, mentally, psychologically, all that stuff, so they can truly help you, because it's a process, it's a journey to get through it. One thing I want to throw out there to help you, would help me heal, was I did inner child meditation. Helped take me back to the moment it happened, helped me kind of go through it, and it helped me look at my younger self and hug myself like, hey, Fausto, it's gonna be all right, man. It wasn't your fault. And by doing that and the times that it happened to me, it helped me release like this blanket, like an invisible blanket of negativity and fear kind of just got lifted. And I was crying, and it was a really big moment for me. But I noticed it helped me with my intimacy now. It helped me, in my relationships. It helped me see the world differently. It also helped me forgive the person who did it to me. And again, I'm not saying what the people that, abuse us is right. I'm not saying that. But if we don't forgive them, then it's going to control us. If we don't forgive them, it will ruin us. So we need to forgive ourselves, and we need to forgive the abuser. And I'm not saying go up to them in person and say, hey, by the way, I just want to say, I forgive you for what you did to me. No, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that at all. What I did was I just wrote a letter, read it out loud to myself, and burned it. That's what I did for me. And then over time, it got a little bit easier because what would happen is I would share my story with people to help people. And every time you share it, you don't wear it. When you share it, it takes away the power. When you share it, you're not a victim. I'm sharing it because I don't want it to be a part of my life. That's what I did. And a little secret thing that I did, and this is not for everybody, this is just for me. So find these things that can work. Inner child meditation, forgiveness letters, therapy, support groups, helping people. Giving it reasons, giving your trauma a reason, giving it a meaning. Give it that. Write a story. Like, this is my story. This is what happened to me. It was supposed to happen to me because I can help people. And the big thing, find something greater than yourself. Whatever you want to call it, higher power, God, Buddha, energy, artificial intelligence, a greater mind, a greater you. Find something great. Find something bigger than yourself that makes the impossible possible, because things like sexual abuse can seem impossible. It can. But when you believe in something greater than yourself that gives you these stories, this wisdom, this way of thinking, it will help you break that barrier. I'm telling you. I'm just sharing my experience for anyone who's suffering with, sexual abuse or being molested. I want to speak out for you guys. I want to share it so you guys can speak about it. Hit me up on my Instagram, Sober Fausto. People hit me up all the time, and I'll share some insight, listen to you, talk to you, whatever it is, because we deserve to heal. We deserve to be free. We deserve not to have to live in this shame. Life is unfair, and it always will be. And some of us experience that a little bit more than others, but you know what? We have the ability, we have the power to not let it control us, to destroy us. We can be free. And I want you to be free. Why? Because I love you, because I care about you, because I know that pain you're feeling. And I don't want you to feel that pain no more. I want you to feel what I feel. Freedom, joy, excitement, love, connection. And I love you guys. Thank you for watching this video. I'm super excited for the journey. And I want you guys to know that I understand the pain that you're going through. I almost ended my life due to my battle with addiction, mental health, and sexual abuse. So what I want to do now is I want to be that person to give you hope. I want to be that person to give you love. I want to be that person to give you faith, so you can believe that anything is possible. That anything is. Because when you think that, you will heal from that. And how do you do that? By suffering joyfully and staying high on hope.